First ever finals appearance for Owosso. Prior to this season, they had never won a regional game. Going for their first ever state championship here in Division II softball. You get the feeling, though, Jenna, this thing's going to come down to the 7th inning, or maybe more between these two teams. The way this game has gone, the talent they both have, that gets by. Walters at third. In comes another run that throws high, and into second. They throw that one airmailed into center field, and they're going to send home. Goes all the way to the fence, and Owosso gets 2 more.
Earlier today, the MHSAA has made the very difficult decision to cancel the remainder of the 2019-20 athletic school year. This includes the winter tournament events that had been suspended, as well as the spring season and upcoming tournaments. These have now all been canceled. Our hearts are broken today for our kids, for our coaches, for our parents, for our schools, for our families, and for our communities.
It's 2020 and we're starting the season off, and we get 1 weekend. We have tryouts. We've cut our JV and varsity team. We get through the first full week. I believe then we go on spring break, and then COVID hits and the season is canceled. I have 4 or 5 seniors at this point that are very huge leaders. I actually had 2 of my young ladies go play college ball even though they missed their senior season, but they were devastated.
I think it really pushed us because we knew what the seniors last year lost, so we really wanted to do it for them like the whole year, and it really pushed us to just make the most of it since we knew what it was like to lose it just like that.
I felt awful because it was my brother was in the same grade as these seniors, so I had lots of connections with them, and I just felt awful for them.
Last season was a heartbreaker. Preparation for this season really focused on looking forward, not dwelling on the past. What was lost is lost. There was no way we could go back and get a junior season back or get a freshman season back. There were no redos. So we knew that we had to pour everything we had into it to make this year count.
I think we just literally maximized every single minute, hour. We worked out every day. We worked on, the main things that we needed to. I mean, they're varsity level, so you're not working on the basics. We're trying to get them to that next level.
We worked out every single day, never took a day off.
We were doing online workouts every Sunday. We were just trying to keep in touch with everyone in case maybe we'll play.
As a school district, they asked us to continue trying to reach out to these kids as coaches to, keep them in touch and keep their sport going as much as we could. So we incorporated once a week, we would Zoom. Zoom was all new, but we would Zoom once a week and we'd work out with these young ladies, just exercise workouts with mostly strength and core again. But we'd do about 20 minutes, we'd sit around and we'd talk.
It was more like a social group. We were trying to pick each other up.
This year was always do we have tomorrow? In preparing with the team, I think we just kind of remind them we may not have tomorrow. So let's make this day be as if it is the last, truly every day, practice or game.
Well, the Division II Regional Championship game between Owosso and Lakewood, this game was bonkers. It needed extra innings to settle the score, and we're going to take you right to the drama. The bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th, all tied up at 1, and Macy Ireland sits down not 1, not 2, but all 3 of Lakewood's batters to strike out the side. It gave her offense an opportunity to go to work, and they sure did. Ren Tuttle smokes a ball to center, bringing home 2 runs with a single, which was part of a 5-run rally for Owosso to give them a 6-1 lead, leading into the bottom of the 10th inning. So all Ireland needed to do was put the cherry on top of the sundae, and the Kent State commit delivers. Her 21st strikeout, final strikeout of the game. Owosso wins its first ever regional title 6-1 in 10 innings.
Where I really think it became more of a reality to me was the championship game in the regional tournament against Lakewood. Watching how the girls battle, watching how they did not fold under pressure. I mean, they kept their composure right until the end.
Owosso's Macy Ireland racked up 33 strikeouts on Saturday, 21 of which she tossed in the regional championship game. We knew we had to send our Ian Crest to Trojan country to catch up with the strikeout queen.
She's the best I've had, and she's one of the best I've seen.
Ireland is in her junior season at Owosso and has given her verbal commitment to Kent State in Saturday's performance to lead the Trojans to their first ever regional title.
I just am trying to do the best for my team.
To be part of the Trojan softball program, you have to be a teammate, a true teammate. You have to think of Owosso softball not yourself. You have to hustle. You have to be kind. You have to treat your teammates and your opponents and everybody else with respect.
Everybody on this team is very inspirational. Like whether it's just as like in a group setting or individually, that one person will always pick you up.
These girls are like my family. I grew up with a whole bunch of them, and just having them with me along this journey is just really great.
All of us girls were super focused, super hardworking. I can say that this is probably one of the most hardworking teams that I played on.
I just wanted to play for my teammates, play my heart out.
We just love the game so much, so passionate about it, that we wanted this for our team.
These young ladies had a very good work ethic, and I think that part of that was because there was somebody behind them pushing them. They knew that their position on the field was not automatically their position because they had so much talent behind them. So once again, they all worked together to help each other. There's a lot of things that I look at that don't take talent, and I talk to my kids about the hustling, about the kindness, about all the things that don't take talent. I think the biggest and the best example I can give of what I'm looking for is I have a young lady. Her name is Maddie Miller. She's a freshman this year. I don't think she ever stepped on the court of basketball, volleyball, or softball on the field because of an injury. But she was at every practice. She had a boot on for the majority of the time. She was at every practice, was never late, never with anything but a smile on her face, never with anything but kindness. Would do anything that she could do, chase foul balls, feed somebody a ball in a machine, any of that she could do. And she got my coach's award this year because that's what I expect from my players. I expect whether you're a starter or you're the 16th person on the roster or you're that kid in the boot, I expect that to happen. And she did it through all 3 seasons I watched, in all 3 sports. And that, Maddie Miller, to me, is what it means to be a part of the Owosso Trojan softball program.
I was so glad that I was part of the team, and I was so glad that Joe let me be a part of the team even though I was injured. And I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have been able to be up there with them.
Fans were fired up at Bailey Park in Battle Creek for this Division II state quarterfinal between the Trojans and Wayland Wildcats. Emma Tornez was the very first batter of the game, and she meant business. Smacks this ball deep to center, and it soars over the wall for the solo home run. Wayland up 1-0, but the Trojans starting pitcher, Macy Ireland, was locked in after that as she lets out a big yell following one of her 15 strikeouts on the day. Now to the bottom of the 7th, Owosso down by 2 and down to its final out, but with a runner on second, Madison Rainey finds her pitch and takes it for a ride over the left field wall. And that was her very first home run of the season, sending this baby to extra innings where Nevaeh Ginger puts one in play. The throw is not in time, and Jamie Meyer comes home to walk it off. The Trojans keep their season alive, 5-4 the final in 8 innings. So Macy, how does it feel to have another huge comeback win?
I don't know how to describe the feeling of just at the last second a miracle happens, and it's incredible.
We always come back. That's what they called us. They called us the comeback kids.
I think we're not ready to be done yet. After like a deficit or something like that, or we're down a run, or it's just, we never gave up. Never.
This team is something special. They really are. I've got some young kids, a couple freshmen that are going to be good, my sophomores, but the seniors right now are leading us, so it's fun.
fun.
Coach Smith has been coaching at Owosso for 38 years, and every year the motivation is the same.
Watching her coach her girls is fantastic. I mean, she is the model of what coaches should be. She emotionally does not get too high or too low.
Jo, regardless of the situation in a game, remains calm. She has that positive demeanor, and it really transcends into the athletes and how they prepare.
She is like the ultimate organizer and the peacemaker, and she's just awesome at dealing with all the issues and paperwork. And I mean, she has the experience. I mean, she's been here forever, almost how old I am.
She has taught me so much. She really is a mentor, a friend, a coach, a mom to some extent.
I love her. I mean, she's an amazing coach. Obviously, she's dedicated her life to Owosso. It's just crazy that we were able to do this for her. And beyond even coaching, she's just a great person to talk to. She works in our school, so we can come down, we see her, she talks to us in the halls. It's just a good relationship outside of sports even.
She is one of my biggest supporters. She's always supporting me. She always knows that I can do better. She's always, hey, you got this, you're doing great.
Like, that is the ideal coach that you could ever have in any sport. She pushes you to your furthest. She's a great coach.
Looking up to Jo for probably close to 9 years now, watching her, how happy she gets, and I'm one of the girls who she gets to think back on and say, yeah, I coached her. She was my pitcher. I think that's amazing.
Even just 1 year, and I've learned so much from her. She just pushes you, and she picks you up instead of tearing you down like some can do.
Our whole coaching staff was stacked to the T. They had fun with us, and Coach Jo, she's an amazing person. She always pushed you to be your best because she knew we could be the best, and we were.
Great to have you with us here from Michigan State, and welcome to the Division II softball semifinal. Owosso and Gaylord square off here in the first of 4 games here today. On Saturday to win a championship.
We are here at Michigan State for the best time of the year, the high school baseball and softball state championship. Up first, we had Owosso in Division II taking on Marysville in the softball state championship, and Owosso was looking for their first state title in school history.
Big Blue on 3. 1, 2, 3, Big Blue!
Owosso a 2-1 win over Gaylord in the semifinal round Thursday, and the fan support will not be a problem. It is so good to see all the fans that packed the stadium here Thursday. Drove in a couple. She pops it up here out to left field, and the side is retired. And smacked into the gap. That's going to get to the wall. The waiver in. The throw's not going to be in time. And the first one of the day, they get to 20 hitter. One to center. This one's got a chance, and it's gone. A home run knocked out of the park by Jamie Mayer. Her third. 1-0, 2 down. Bases loaded. Big time jam here for Kirsten Smith. Can she get out of it? Rainey set, and Rainey to right field. Oh, that's awful close. They say it's good. Right overturning it. That's tough.
And you're thinking, oh my gosh, we're jumping on them 5-0, but then it shrinks back down to 2-0.
It looked like it was on the line. Back to it. Smith. Back to the circle. And off the shortstop. Winston couldn't contain it, but they get the out in second. Oh, they get bailed out.
I'm just a fan, and I had no sweat equity in the outcome of the game, so I can't imagine how the girls felt.
I think it just drove us, like sparked another fire inside us that we just wanted to win.
All right, we still got things to do. We got time. We got to work.
We can't control that call. It's in the past. This is our game. Play our game.
State of Michigan. It's great to see him back. Here's an opportunity that's going to drop in for a base hit, first hit of the game for Marysville as Brandy Bassett. Everybody in except the first baseman, and that gets through. Well done by Woodard. She's aboard first and second with one down here for Marysville in their half of the third. Smith to center. That one has got a shot, and it's gone! Kirsten Smith, a three-run homer, and Marysville's on top 3-2.
We had some downfalls, but we fought through it.
These girls, they got that far. They weren't going to let it get away from them. They just weren't.
The girls were not going to stop. My players were going to fight for me, and so I should have fought for them. And I just didn't want to give up on them.
23 doubles.
Jammed her there. Smith makes the put out.
Both trying to keep each other off balance.
Yep. There's the heat. She puts her away. Barron with a shot. Out to right center. Barron puts it over the fence. And that's a base hit. And they're going to wave her in. Ryan Ramsey's taking the chance. Waves her in. Throws there. She's out. Brady up the middle. Base hit. They're going to send in the lead runner. Ginger. Throws coming in. And Ginger's in there safe to third. And they don't get Hepker. The ball was dropped. Pitch. Center in the run and drops. It'll roll to the wall. Hepker's in to score. Ireland's in at second. That's going to bring it on. And the game is tied at 5-5. 2-2. Slowly hit at the shortstop. Run's going to come in. They get the out at first and Tuttle.
With 2 strikes, forcing the high ball.
Got her. High heat there as Ireland sets down Walters. The way this game has gone, the talent they both have, that gets by. Walters at third. In comes another run that throws high. And into second, they throw that one airmailed into center field. And they're going to send her up, goes all the way to the fence. And Owosso gets 2 more. What a wild sequence there. Just about set to begin the 7th final at bat for Marysville. Shortstop and off of her, but it comes free, but Wes Miller is going to make her way. That one just a hot shot. 5 runs, they're down 3. There's a shot into right center. They're going to send Wes Miller to third. She's going to be in there safely. Kane. It is caught at first base. Heads up play there, and a nice play by Ren Tuttle. Runners at the corners. Comes down to this.
Ball's coming to you. Know what you're doing.
I always think in my head, the balls always come to me. Expect it, expect it.
Avery Walters. Walters.
I was just going after it. If I was going to knock into somebody, it was going to be my bad, but I was going to get it.
I was the bottom of the dog pile. I was like, my legs were all messed up. I was like laying sideways. It was funny.
I was on top of the world right then. Like, it was crazy seeing Jamie fly through the air, just slamming the ball down. I was just laughing and smiling with my teammates. It was crazy.
It was just an adrenaline rush. There's like no words to describe like that feeling.
It's not quite fully sunken in what happened. Those dog piles on the pitcher's mound are what I live for. Like, we did it in the district, regional, almost every game. It's just so amazing. You're hugging a whole bunch of random people. Like, I don't even know who I hugged, and the emotions are literally crazy.
It was just a great season, like, all together.
It's a really good experience.
It felt right.
I still can't stop grinning.
We got off of the highway and came into Perry, and when we came into town, everyone was outside cheering, and none of us knew that was happening.
It was amazing to see how the community all came together at the game, and then the police escort, and how many people actually came out of their houses and cheered. It was amazing.
Firefighters and people are lining the streets back in Owosso, and it was just crazy. We're playing our music on the bus, and it just doesn't feel real.
We were bumping in there too, because we had the stereo cranking and we were all singing.
That was probably the coolest moment of my day, I'm not even gonna lie.
It was super freaking cool, let me tell you that.
Like, I got the chills during that. Like, it was cool to have all of that.
I'm very proud of these girls and my wife and the whole coaching staff and the community. I mean, that's the first time they've sold out a high school softball championship, and it was Owosso.
To me, this is a springboard for our other sports to look at and say, hey, you know, look what hard work does for you.
Because now we have evidence, we have an artifact, and it's going to be right there in the trophy case that we can perform at a high level.
Whether it's wrestling or whether it's basketball or football, or whatever sport it is, it's helping the kids understand that kids from Owosso can win.
Anybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win? I guess we'll never know.
Which one's the camera? This one? Hey, Justin Bieber. Okay, but that's it.